The devotion for today is on blessing and obedience. We're reading from the 100 Days of Believing Bigger by Marshan Evans Daniels. Deuteronomy 28:8 says this: The Lord will guarantee a blessing on everything you do and will fill your storehouses with grain. The Lord your God will bless you in the land he is giving you. This blessed me so much this morning. I had gotten to a point where I had gotten tired of fighting with my thoughts of doubt. And so I said, Lord, whatever it is, however it's going to go, even if you don't bless me with what you're telling me to do and the way that I'm thinking that you're going to bless me, then I just release it. And I think it's a good posture to have because there's submission, but underneath that is not the faith that he wants us to have, fully walking into what he's calling us to walk into. And so this morning, right after I was thinking that thought and praying that last night because I was just so tired of wrestling, he brought me to, I will guarantee you a blessing. I guarantee the blessing. How different would we act if we believed that what God said that he's going to do is not a probability, but an actual guarantee? I've read this before, like I have notes everywhere, but it hit me different this morning because he says, I want you to believe in my word. And we have to take all of his word. It's a guarantee. It's not a question. It's not a thought. It's not an if. It's not a but. It's a guarantee. And this blessed me even more when it said, everything you do. Because some of us are working 9-to-5 jobs. Some of us are in careers, and I'm just going to be honest, I do not hate my career. My career is my passion. I love my career. It's what I wanted to do since the 5th grade. But God is shifting and transitioning me in this season. And God is saying, I will bless everything you do. And so sometimes we think God is only going to bless that 9-to-5. We finally got the 9-to-5 that we wanted, the top of the ladder, that promotion, that raise. And we're like, great, I'm great here. We've become complacent, and God is saying, I will bless everything. So when God asks you to start that new business, he's going to bless that. So when God asks you to start that nonprofit, he's going to bless that. So when God asked you to start that ministry, he's going to bless that. So when God asked you to start that new venture, whatever it is that he's asking you to do, even if it's to adopt a child, he's going to do that. How sweet is it to know that you are guaranteed a blessing? But we can often forget that some blessings, are byproducts of alignment and obedience. The passage above makes clear that the blessing provision isn't random. The blessing referenced is specifically and strategically attached to the land, the territory, and the assignment that God is leading them into. God doesn't promise to bless us where we don't belong. How else would he usher us into the promised land? You're walking in alignment and you're partially walking towards what God has told you to do. And then you start to see, although there are difficulties, although there are trials, you start to see the little blessings or the blessings that God is dropping. And a part of you wants to say, oh, I'll stay here. I'll stick with this blessing. I'll just stay here. This is good enough for me. And what God is saying is the blessing is attached to your alignment. And my pastor says this: I don't want to be where God was. I want to be where God is. Because where God is where his blessings are. And the blessing does not have to just be material or provision. It can be peace. It can be fulfillment. It could be joy unspeakable. It can be healing. Whatever you need the blessing to be, it is in alignment with where He is telling you to go. Blessing and obedience go hand in hand. We are seeking to align with God, where God's presence, plan, path, and provision are already flowing. For too many of our choices are decided, but not truly directed. When you default to doing what you want, when you want, and how you want, God will let you. But it doesn't mean that the blessing of His provision and protection will be upon your decision. You can go the other way. You can do like Jonah and say, "No, Lord, I am not doing that." But your blessing is in the other direction. And sometimes, no matter how much we try to fight God, He always finds a way of pulling us back into the direction that we were created to go. But our blessing is guaranteed to be in the direction that He has called us to go. Don't forfeit your blessing. Walk in God's direction.